I love this film so much. I think The Drop is such a unique premise. So I'm so curious what each of your thoughts were when you first heard the plot of the film.
Well, when I first heard the plot, I was about 7 months pregnant, maybe 8 months pregnant. And Sarah and Josh approached me about playing Peggy, which they had written for me and for my unborn child. So I was like, okay, great. I love collaborating with you guys. I want to be in anything that you're doing, but you're not dropping my baby. And they're like, no, no, nobody will drop your actual baby. But it really kind of tapped into like a maternal fear for sure.
Yeah, and I think that is the whole kind of crux of the movie, right? Like if you hear about a baby being dropped, you're immediately like, "Oh no, this is horrible." And then to be like, "But it's a comedy." People are always like, "What?" They're kind of, nervous about it. So I think I was immediately just from the premise alone when I first found out about the project was kind of intrigued because it's so different from what you might get down the pike. And my character is just unlike anything I've ever gotten to play before. Just in terms of her, like, untapped aggression and burgeoning love of guns. Like I was like, I gotta say yes.
Yeah, well, I thought I read that this technically wasn't scripted. Yeah, so how much of this was improv with you guys coming up with your own lines?
Um, so there was a pretty thorough scriptment, but no, straight up lines written. So it was a proper, improvised movie. But Sarah Adina Smith, the director, she was also the co-writer along with Josh Leonard. So she already has a very clear vision of what story she wants to tell, and this is how she works on most of her films. So she's amazing. She's an amazing director. She knows what she wants, and she knows how much information or how much to request of the actors and how much leeway to give us to kind of run with it. So it's just a nice balance. And she's so gifted at many things, but I think she's really gifted at that.
Yeah, because even for some of the group scenes where there's so much going on, like it was so clear what events needed to unfold and like what beats were important for which characters so that it wasn't like we were shooting the same scene for like a week or something.
Did you each have a favorite improv moment where it just kind of came out perfectly and you were like, yes, that's it?
I really liked doing the scene with Levi where he
Yeah.
he comes to me to kind of talk to me about, body things that he's experiencing as a teenage boy. He was so funny and wonderfully awkward, and it was a very kind of small and quiet scene, but really fun to do. I liked doing that one a lot.
Yeah, I think there were so many fun, like just one-on-one scenes throughout the movie. Mine, I mean, I have to say, when I got to punch Anna's character Lex that was scripted. I was supposed to punch her, and it took more than one take. I'm sad to say I had to do it more than once, but that was definitely a fun moment to get to do as an actor.
Violence just doesn't come naturally to you.
I know. You knew.
Well, yeah, and something that I was curious about, and I would love to hear from each of you. I guess Jennifer, if you would like to start, why do you think Peggy is so much more willing to forgive Lex than Mia is? Because she's not. I mean, she's upset, but she's not necessarily angry from the beginning.
I think part of it is Peggy's personality. She's a doctor. She deals with, emergencies all the time. So she can kind of very quickly assess that this was something really awful that happened, but it was an accident. Baby Ani's okay. Let's just move forward. But also, Peggy's character doesn't have the same history with Lex that Mia's character does. So once you have that history, it becomes a lot more complicated. It's a lot more, Peggy has more of a willingness to forgive and forget because she's practically a stranger to me, but I know that she's an important person to my wife to be. So let's just keep it calm. And I'm also trying to keep Mia calm and keep her from spiraling out and going down this kind of paranoid spiral. So I think that's, Peggy is just coming from a very even keel background.
Yeah, and then for Mia's character, obviously there's that history with Lex. They dated. I think Lex is the first woman Mia dated, and then she breaks her heart. So obviously there's like unresolved baggage there. But even beyond that, Mia is just verging into that type of parent who's very overprotective and very nervous that something's going to happen to their child. So I think this horrible incident happening is like the permission Mia needs to be like, yeah, I'm right. Like the world is dangerous and unsafe, and I need to buy more guns.
You have been validated.
Yeah.
Well, did you get any extra information on Mia's prior relationship with Lex that wasn't mentioned in the film? Because it's touched on, but we don't get a super deep dive into it.
Yeah, I mean, Lex basically, I think, has slept with one person at least in each couple, that all the couples in the movie. And I think Mia is like, I don't think Lex's first same-sex relationship, but I think is Mia's first same-sex relationship, and maybe opens that door of possibility for her. And Lex is also the one who breaks her heart because she seems to be the freer spirit between the two of them. So we know that it was on Lex's terms that the relationship ended. And I think Mia hopefully took it better than her future self would.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I'm gonna have to wrap, but thanks for chatting with me about the film. I really enjoyed it.